Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second installment for our sleep video series. Our topic today is going to be discussing how diet and exercise can affect your sleep. So just a little overview. We are going to go into diet and exercise individually and see how they affect your sleep, as well as, oh, we have cherry mocktail here, something I'm not familiar with, so I'm very excited to see what that's all about. And then our final slide is going to be the slide that you screenshot towards the end to get the extra credit for your course, and we will also remind you at the end of this presentation.
All right, now before we dive into diet, let's start with a question. Go ahead and pause this video and answer. True or false, diet has a major role in the quality of our sleep. Now, to answer that question, yes, diet does play a role. It can go hand in hand, so sleep affects your diet and it's vice versa, Sleep causes the stress levels bad sleep causes the stress levels to rise, and too much of this can make you more prone to eating more highly processed foods. Eating more highly processed foods overall puts you at risk at diabetes, obesity, bad sleep quality. Now, you should really have a balanced diet, and a good example of that would be the Mediterranean diet because it's rich in all kinds of healthy foods, like rich in fruits, vegetables, healthy fats. These are all linked to better quality of sleep. But it is important to remember that balance is key here. Now, yes, you should be having a good portion of proteins, healthy fats, fruits, and vegetables in your diet, but you can always splurge on unhealthy things. But again, balance is key. Now, the American diet is a bit more highly processed in foods and sugars, which is, of course, linked to poor sleep. But like I said previously, balance is key here. Now, having a better balanced diet also influences our gut microbiome. Our gut microbiome, like any other microbiome, if you feed it well, it'll give you good benefits. If you feed it bad, it'll give you some bad benefits. And it has a major impact on our sleep quality. It's also a good idea to limit alcohol and caffeine intake. I know this is easier said than done, but like I said previously, balance is key here. Alcohol and caffeine prevent you from going to sleep, which of course is going to ruin your sleep quality over time. It is also a good idea to wait about 3 hours after eating before you go to sleep. This just gives your body enough time to digest the food. So when you go straight to sleep, it doesn't need to overwork to digest the food. And you will notice a good difference in your sleep quality if you do this. Now, up next, we will be talking about a fan favorite item. All right, I'm sure we've all seen the cherry mocktail, the famous cherry mocktail on TikTok. Now, I know TikTok is filled with a lot of trends which are not backed up by science, but the cherry mocktail is actually backed up by science because cherries are proven to improve the quality of your sleep because it reduces inflammation. And tart cherry juice a boosts tryptophan, which helps produce more serotonin. Serotonin is linked to improved moods and relaxation. So this will help you fall asleep easier. I wouldn't say quicker, but you will have better quality sleep. Now, another portion of that video was the lady added a giant scoop of magnesium powder. I would love to point out that you do not need that much magnesium powder to get its effects, but magnesium helps regulate GABA. GABA is a neurotransmitter, an inhibitory neurotransmitter, which is linked to better quality sleep. It helps not fully shut down the things that need to be shut down, but it helps relax your muscles, aids in inflammation, and that is how it enhances the quality of sleep. And now you can also add, some people from TikTok, they like to add a prebiotic soda to their cherry mocktails. You can do that. Prebiotic soda can help with your microbiome. You don't have to. That portion of the video is just for fun. Now, moving on to our next question, go ahead and pause and answer the question. True or false, GABA is a neurotransmitter which does aid in sleep quality.
All right. So we have talked about how improving your diet can very much improve your sleep quality. But how about its partner in crime, exercise? We absolutely see exercise also having positive effects on overall sleep quality, with also significantly reducing your health risks. But what about if your sleep cycle is already in a state of disarray, maybe experiencing some symptoms of insomnia or hypersomnia that we covered in the previous video, where you're sleeping too much or too little? Let's listen to a quick clip from Dr. Gary Tan, a board certified endocrinologist, delving into the effects of exercise, and the benefits that they can provide to those with sleep disturbances.
They let me provide you some tips on how to reduce your risk if you lack sleep. Recent evidence showed that less than 6 hours of sleep or more than 8 hours of sleep both can increase your mortality risk, especially if this is associated with no physical activity. Study clearly showed that the mortality risk of short and long sleep duration were similar to those of normal sleep among participants with the highest volume of physical activity. So simply put, engaging in a physical activity or exercise can counter the harmful effects of lack of sleep, especially in terms of all-cause mortality, death coming from cancer, as well as death due to cardiovascular disease. So for more health tips.
All right. Thank you, Doc. So the following are some great benefits that exercise can provide to our sleep quality. So physical activity has been shown to increase the production of melatonin, which is a special hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycles. Stress reduction is a large positive that exercise can provide as well. Lowering the amount of overall tension on the body with physical activity has been shown to help individuals fall asleep quicker. And lastly, exercise can help regulate the body temperature, which is also a very important factor for sleep quality. But how does that make sense? Well, initially, the body temperature does raise with exercise when you're really feeling that burn. But 30 to 90 minutes post-exercise, the body temperature actually decreases, which is something your body naturally does like to do during sleep, is decrease that temperature for more restful sleep. So exercise just helps it get there a little faster. All right, this is going to be our third question, so we'll have you pause and answer to the best of your ability. True or false, exercise decreases the production of melatonin, helping to regulate the sleep-wake cycle. All right, so exercise can be a positive influence on sleep quality. That's great and all, but what kind of exercise are we actually talking about here? Listen, I need to make something extremely clear. When we talk about exercise, we do not mean it to the extent of individuals who are in the top percentile of fitness for their respective sports. You know, many assume you need to push yourself to the limit every time you exercise, or the benefits will not take effect. This is certainly not the case here for the goal of improving sleep quality. We are talking about making slow incremental changes over time to your exercise routine that will result in a plethora of great benefits to aid in your own lifestyle. So how much time do you need and how hard do you have to exercise to see these benefits? Well, a group of patients suffering from insomnia symptoms who exercised at a moderate intensity for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, showed improvement in sleep quality. Not as much commitment as you originally thought, huh? Well, how about moderate intensity aerobic activity? What is that, and what does that even look like? Well, the following clip is a good example to give you an idea of how moderate intensity aerobic exercise really looks.
Them want to wind them ways. Tell them forward in the ace. Put a bang bang embrace. She can take it from she rides. Welcome to council down and she calls, she calls. There's help on her face, but no she please with the size. Coming around to rhythm, cause I roll in the miles. I invite you to mix it and chip off on the body. Oh, you're full of track and you can't keep up with the energy. But I can't take it off it in midnight to memory. The title bubbles up and treat it like a felony. What you gonna do when there is nobody that can do it better than this reggae guy? I can do this every morning, every evening. Have you screaming straight back to sunrise.
All right, so we have our final question of the day here. True or false, 30-minute sessions of moderate intensity exercise 3 times weekly is sufficient for improving sleep quality? As we end our show today, we do have some app recommendations that you may be interested in, to help if you're somebody that is into fitness apps or any type of app that'll help you get a little bit more engaged and keep you accountable and, cleaning up your diet or improving your exercise habits. These are some great ones you can pause and take a look at on your own time as well.
Here is the answers to the questions. And go ahead and take a screenshot of this slide and submit for extra credit. Thank you for watching this week's video and stay tuned.